masses.
Headline edition, July 8, 1947. The Army Air Forces has announced that a flying disc has been found and is now in the possession of the Army.
If the game is rigged, change the game. Game changer.
I occasionally think how quickly our differences worldwide would vanish if we were facing an alien threat from outside this world.
This is Fade to Black with your host, Jimmy Church, on the Game Changer Radio Network.
I need your help to get to the year 1985. You're listening to Fade to Black with Jimmy Church on the Game Changer Network.
Good evening. I'm trying to hang out in the chat room. Can't get it done because the show interrupted me. This is Fade to Black, the Spoke Radio for the Masses, Thursday, November 17th, 2022. I would like to welcome everybody listening all around the world, all across the United States. Hither and thither, to and fro, back and forth, up and down, east and west, north and south, far and near. This is Fade to Black for KJCR and the Game Changer Network. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. What is cracking, everybody? How you doing? Today is Thursday. It is Fadernight. Open lines all night long. That's right. Call a number 818-921-6929. Let me get that going. I want to get back to posting in the chat room. Yeah, I was right there, man. I was right there. I was posting in the chat room. I'm going to get back to it. Okay, so I got that going. It's Thursday night. It's Fader night, my favorite night of the week. I get to hang out with all of you. Now, this is what we're doing tonight. I've got hundreds and hundreds of books. And I was going to give some away tonight. And then I went, wait a minute. I've got a great idea. I have two copies of Jason Quitt's Egyptian Postures of Power. I've got two autographed copies, right? They're autographed, signed right there, signed. Two autographed copies. I'm going to give away these tonight to the two best callers. Okay, so I've got two copies, and I've got hundreds of books, and it seems like about once a year I go through and go, man, we got to liquidate some of these. And so tonight I'm going to do this though. Jason signed these for the Fadernauts and sent them to me. So tonight I'm giving these away. I have two copies, Egyptian Postures of Power. And by the way, I read this. I read it when it first came out. I got the gear too as well. So giving those away tonight, 818-921-6929. That is the call-in number, and there you go. Okay, so it's open lines all night tonight. I'm in a great mood. It's cold. You can tell. I'm wearing a sweater. Got my voice back. Yeah, maybe I should just not get too excited. Maybe it'll go away during the show, but there you go. All right. It's Thursday night. It's Fader night. It is open lines all night long. Your calls, your conversation. UFOs, conspiracy, time travel, lost history, paranormal, supernatural, food. So let me get to. So I was. All right. Let me do this. Let me do this. Make sure that is okay. So we come over here. I'm putting you on hold. You just stay right there. Okay. Let me finish. I've got a question for everybody, and so let me get to this, and which is, how big of a TV does everyone have? How big is too big? Right? And I'm asking for a friend. How big is too big? I'm putting this up in here. There's a reason why I'm asking. I went today. I was goofing around, and you can get right now. You can get a 98-inch flat screen TV, Samsung. It's $12,000. Now, I want you to. That's 8 feet, right? That's 8 feet of TV, right? What is? I'm imagining in my mind that it's 8 feet. Hold on for a second. So let's figure this out. Let's just break out the calculator, and then we go. That would be 98 divided by 12 is how you figure that. Yeah, that's 8 feet. That's over 8 feet of TV. 8 feet. How much TV is too much? Now, I understand projections and projector TVs, and that's not what I'm talking. I'm talking about a TV. How big is too big? 8 feet, 12 grand. Who is buying a $12,000 TV? Now, I guess, 70 inches, 75. That's pretty big, right? And then pushing it up, and then it is. If you remember when flat screen TVs first came out, 30-inch, $500, $600, $700, $800, and you were like, man, this is and then suddenly somebody got a 42. Whoa, man. And then there was a 50-incher, and $1,000, $1,200, $1,400, and then there's 55, then there's 60, 65, right? That's starting to get that's a lot of TV, man. That's huge. 75 inches, right? 75, 80, 85, 98. Now, you could probably get an 85-inch TV today for probably under $1,000. All right, and if you haven't bought a TV in 4 or 5 years, maybe it's, and you can step 85 inches. What is it? That's 7 feet. 7 feet of TV, man. 98 inches. How much is too much? So I'm just curious. I had a Pong 1980. Okay, I'm talking average size. Let's see here. Oh, plasma TVs. Mine is a 65. Okay, that's Owen from Ohio. Okay, he says 65. And this is Guitar Guy. He's got a 65. Bill's got a 27-inch monitor. Good for you, Bill. Let's see. Hadley says, I got 60, but I don't have it hooked up. But what does that mean? What does that mean? What do you? Is it a paperweight? What's going on with that? I go to the theater. I like that. I like that answer right there. Go to the theater. 8 feet of TV. Yeah, so I'm just curious. 65. Here's 50. Oh, no, I have a 70. And my monitor is a 50. What? Well played, my man. Let's see. What is this? 54. Is there such thing as a 54-inch TV? Flux, you mean 55, 70 inch. That's a nice TV. 70 is good. 85 inches. How do you like that 85 inch? Ours is 75, but at 11 feet, we are rated closer to an 80 inch. Yeah, probably if you're sitting closer. 75's a big TV. And Christine says, I have a 50. Obviously it depends on the size of your room. 46 and an 80. Wow. Ken Priest says he has a 70. Yeah. Ken, I'm not buying. Ken's got one of them 98. He's got a 98 inch. Nick B says 85. And what is this? Anything over 72 inches. Are you guys with now? What about this 98 inch? Jonocide says he's got 55 and Monica 65. I like having 9 inches. Let's see here. 85 from Sean. Yeah, 10 grand, 11 grand, 12 grand, 98 inches, man. That is, I don't know if I had, if I had a 98 inch TV, I wouldn't admit to it. I mean, it's one thing to sit around. Yeah, I got a 60, got a 65. I don't even know why the conversation would come up these days. But bragging rights on it. I mean, because TVs are inexpensive. But do you go, man? It's got a 98 inch TV today, flat screen, installed, 12 grand. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I just found that mind blowing today, and I'm picturing what 8 feet of TV, 8 feet, man, diagonal, 8 feet, 98 inches. That's a lot of TV. All right, I don't even know why. Oh, I saw it, and it just thought I would ask. See what everybody's, and what does everybody got? And certainly it does. It matters about the size of the room, right? Got 8 foot TV. How close are you going to sit? Must have a, yeah. So anyway, coming up, I will be hosting the Conscious Life Expo February 10th through the 13th at the LAX Hilton. Tickets, info, schedule, everything is below. I'm going to be hosting a luncheon. If you want to go to that, I think one is sold. I think they're going to move it up. So tickets are available to that. And of course, Expo's got talent. Susan Slaughter's going to be doing a seance. Got 200 speakers, over 200 vendors. LAX Hilton, links are below. Saturday, April 1st, I will be hosting the Parapod Festival at the Hyatt Regency right here in Southern California in Valencia. This is a one-day live event. It's an awards festival, a film festival, a podcast awards festival. It's an everything media in the paranormal festival. Submit right now your submissions. Right now, you can submit parapodfilmfest.com. The links are below. And then a week after that, April 7th through the 14th, 2023, I'll be hosting and presenting on the Hidden Secrets Seminar at Sea Cruise. Departing out of LA, going down to Mexico, turning around and coming back. Scott Wolter, Adam Apollo, Nick Pope, Brad Olson, Vivian Chauvet. That's going to be awesome. Whole lot of presenters. So go and check it out. The links are below. And go on a cruise with us. You can follow me on Twitter at JChurchRadio. At JChurchRadio. Yeah, follow me right there. Hashtag F2B is the sandbox. Yeah, man, I got my voice back. I'm not nasally. I noticed it today. I'm back. Tonight's Fadernight. I'm going to be giving away to the two best calls tonight. I've got 2 copies of Jason Quitt's Egyptian Postures of Power. Got 2. They are autographed. All right. So there you go. 818-921-6929 is the number to call. Okay. Let's see. Let's get to the breaking news. I thought about this today. I thought, why is this news? And then it is news, and it's huge news, because anyone looking to buy a ticket to Taylor Swift's new tour is probably out of luck, because Ticketmaster announced today that, quote, due to extraordinarily high demands on ticketing systems and insufficient remaining ticket inventory, the tickets are now canceled. That's right. Ticket sales for Taylor Swift, the Eras Tour, have been canceled. The sudden cancellation comes after Ticketmaster said today that more than 2 million tickets were sold in one day. The most ever sold for an artist in a single day. 2 million tickets. It's only 52 shows. How many people per show? Where is she playing? 2 million tickets sold in a day. It caused a near meltdown of their website. Yeah. Unbelievable. It's not Van Halen. Taylor Swift. 2 million tickets in a day. 52. And it's next year. And the ticket prices are outrageous. All right. Huge news today. Another employee exodus appears to be underway at Twitter. That's right. But they're not getting fired. They're quitting. As many workers rejected Elon Musk's terms for staying with the company, choosing instead to depart. An internal Slack channel at the company was filled with employees posting the salute emoji after the 5 p.m. ET deadline today, indicating that they had chosen not to sign up and sign Musk's pledge, and they decided to depart the company. And then tonight, right before showtime, following the exits, employees remaining at the company received an email alerting them that the company's offices will be temporarily closed and badge access will be restricted through Monday. What is going on? A U.S. agency seeking to restore habitat for endangered fish gave final approval today to decommission 4 dams straddling the California-Oregon border, the largest dam removal undertaking in U.S. history. Dam removal is expected to improve the health of the Klamath River, the route that Chinook salmon and endangered coho salmon take from the Pacific Ocean to their upstream spawning grounds, and from where the young fish return to the sea. Yeah, that's crazy. 4 dams, taking them down. Okay, here we go. Here we go. You ready? For the first time, now I want you to listen to me. For the first time, the Food and Drug Administration, the FDA, announced that meat grown in a laboratory is safe to eat, paving the way for more meat alternatives to be sold in grocery stores in the United States. The regulator evaluated the meat products made by Upside Foods in California, which creates, you ready? Cell-cultured chicken by harvesting the cells from live birds and growing the meat in stainless steel tanks. Oh, man. In a press release, the FDA said that Upside can enter markets in the United States after they have been inspected by the United States Department of Agriculture, the USDA, and meet FDA guidelines. More than 2,000 employees at 112 Starbucks locations went on strike today, according to the union, which has been organizing stores for the last year. That's right. The union says it was striking to protest the retaliation taken against union supporters nationwide. It is also protesting what it characterizes as the company's refusal to bargain with the union on a first labor deal. There are 264 stores that have voted in favor of union representation, but no contracts have yet been negotiated, even at stores which voted nearly a year ago. Starbucks has 15,500 locations in the United States. 8,900 are company-owned and operated. There you go. I'm not pro-union. I'm not anti. I'm like, it's whatever you want to do. Whatever you want to do. But man, 2,000 employees, 100 stores out of 15,500 locations. I understand, protests, stick it to the man, but what are you going to do? So I went to Starbucks. No, I didn't go to Starbucks. I drove by a Starbucks today. No action at this one. On this day in history, let's get the show cracking. On this day in history, 1973, President Richard Nixon tells a group of newspaper editors gathered at Walt Disney World in Orlando, Florida, that he is not a crook. That's right. On this day in 1973. Fader fact. Check this out. I didn't know that. I had to go and check. I actually had to go and check this one. William Howard Taft was the 27th president of the United States and the last president that had a mustache. And that is your Fader fact. Over 100 years ago, man, 1908. Yeah. That's trippy, isn't it? Yeah, I bet you didn't know that. Tonight's another Fader night. Open lines all night long, but tonight I'm going to be giving away to the two best calls of the night. I've got 2 copies of Jason Quitt's Egyptian Postures of Power, but these are autographed. All right, so the 2 best calls of the night. And so I'll talk a little bit more about this during the show tonight. I woke up, River Moon Coffee, rivermoonwellness.com. Fade to Black blend. Go Beckley Teppy. Okay. So today, I was working on my sliding glass door, and I fixed it, by the way, nice and slides now. So I'm out there working on it, and I hear this jet engine firing. And so I was waiting for a plane to take off. Nothing took off. I went, engine testing. And doesn't that sound unique? And so I continued fixing the doors. About 10 minutes later, happened again. Really loud. But it had a strange sound. And so I continued to fix the door, and I've got my thing, and I had my vacuum cleaner. I had the thing in the slot and the groove, and I'm doing that. And 10 minutes later, happened again, and that's when I went, pack it in church. Let's go see what's going on. So I run. I literally, jump in the Jeep, take off, and I start shooting video. And I pull up. I get up to Lockheed, and I'm wondering if the street is even open where they have all the engine testing. And I'm thinking it's the B-21 Raider, right? The new stealth bomber. And I turn and I'm going up towards Northrop Grant, and I see there's traffic, man. There's like car, and I see some photographers taking pictures, like aviation dudes. I'm like, wow, okay, something's going on. And then I see the security, the camo dudes in the white pickup trucks, and they're lining the fences. Not lining, but you never see. It's always empty out there. You don't see anything, but not today, right? And I was like, wow, there's security guy, and I'm videotaping, right? So I'm pulling the camera down, and kind of narrating, go all the way, but I don't see anything. I didn't. Lots of security, lots of action, lots of cars, which is a normally deserted. There's nobody out there. When I'm out there driving, I'm the only car, and but not today. So I go all the way down. I make a U-turn, come back. Security got followed. I don't know if I got followed, but this white pickup, with security lights on it, cop lights. It pulls out. It's behind me, and I'm like, oh, that was at a security gate, and so now I can't videotape. He's behind me. He ended up passing me, so that was not big. But they were everywhere, but I didn't see anything. I didn't say I was, and so a couple of the spots though, there's like eight of these facilities where they engine test had tarps over, couldn't see inside. Normally, it's out in the open, and 2 were covered, so I couldn't see inside. So I don't know. It was pretty crazy though. It was pretty nuts. I haven't seen that kind of action, and I know. December 2nd is coming up. Today's the 17th. And it's going to be a pretty big reveal here. And like I said, the press release says they have 6 B-21 Raider bombers built and getting ready to go over to Edwards Air Force Base for flight testing. And the big rollout for the press is December 2nd. And they got to be able to fly over to Edwards. So, yeah, of course they're doing engine testing. And I'm assuming they're doing, runs, not flying, but what do they call that? When you're just testing on the runway? I forget. But they must be doing that, right? I was hoping to catch it today. I didn't. There you go. This is an interesting morning. All right. It is Thursday. It's Fadernight. It's open lines all night long. 818-921-6929. 818-921-6929. Best 2 calls of the night. Giving away 2 copies of Jason Quitt's Egyptian Postures of Power. I've got 2 copies. Both are autographed. All right. Now, you are going to determine the best calls of the night. Not me. No. What do they call it? Throttling? That's what happened when I used to get in trouble. That's what my parents did. They throttled me. This is Fade to Black. I am your host, Jimmy Church. It's Thursday night. It's Fader night. Your calls are next. Stay with us.
This is Nicole Church, daughter of you-know-who, and you're listening to Fade to Black on JimmyChurchRadio.com and the Game Changer Network.
You're listening to Jimmy Church and Fade to Black on the X.
You're listening to Jimmy Church, Fade to Black.
Fade to Black will now pause for alien identification.
The station that talks the net.
When you take the beans from Central America with dashes of Indonesian and African mixed in and then roast it to the dark side of Fade to Black, you create the ultimate brew of fringe. Introducing the Fade to Black blend from Rivermoon Coffee. Yes, Rivermoon's darkest customized roast was created for the love of Fade to Black. The alchemy of masterful roasting and smoking the beans is in every sip of this full-bodied dark Java. I need my coffee dark, deep, with distinct bittersweet chocolate highlights, just like the bunker. Leaning further into the darkness of the roast is Fade to Black Blend from River Moon Coffee. Just click on the banner at jimmychurchradio.com and use the promo code F2BBLEND for 15% off of your order today.
This is the only way forward.
This is Fade to Black. Make contact.
This is Jimmy Church of Fade to Black, and you can get our podcast for just $2 per month. All you have to do is click on the podcast banner over at jimmychurchradio.com. I'll be the host and MC once again this year for the 2023 Conscious Life Expo, February 10th through the 13th at the LAX Hilton in Los Angeles, California. This is a 4-day live event featuring hundreds of speakers, exhibitors, and not-to-miss special events. Check this out. Linda Moulton Howe, Bashar, Deborah King, Daniel Sheehan, George Norrie, David Wolf, Sean Stone, Danny Brinkley, Susan Slaughter, the Leo King, David Palmer, Scott Walter, and another 200 inspirational speakers. Special events include a disclosure lunch with me, Expo's Got Talent, hosted by me, a seance with Susan Slaughter, the George Norrie Forum, and the Leo King is going to DJ at a dance party. Over 200 exhibitors, over 200 speakers. It's the biggest event of the year. Tickets are on sale now at ConsciousLifeExpo.com. For everything you need, info, tickets, schedule, and speakers, please visit ConsciousLifeExpo.com. Go back, Lee Tappy.
You have an interest in the paranormal? Then you'll love the unxnetwork.com. The X is your streaming audio and video for everything supernatural, strange, and mysterious, like UFOs, Bigfoot, ghosts, and so much more. From hosts like Jimmy Church, Whitley Strieber, Micah Hanks, and Christina Gomez. Visit the unxnetwork.com show page for a complete list of all the paranormal programs you'll find on the X. Be sure to follow us on Twitter for updates at KUNXDB. Follow our Facebook group, UnX Network. Find the podcast on Spotify, iHeart, Audible, and Apple Podcast. It's time. It's new. It's the X.
9 out of 10 geneticists agree.
Fade to Black is not your father's radio show on the Game Changer Radio Network.
Hi, this is Rob Reiner from Anvil, and you're listening to JimmyChurchRadio.com.
What's up? I'm Chris. What up? This is Kyle Manson. You're listening to Jimmy Church
All right, welcome back. Fade to Black. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. Thursday night, Fadernight, favorite night of the week. Haven't done this in a while. I'm going to give away some books tonight. I'm going to give away 2 copies, autographed. Jason Quitt's Egyptian Postures of Power. Got them right here. Okay. And they're signed. They're ready to go. 2 best calls of the night. I'll let you Fadernauts in the chat room tell me who the best calls are. That way, it's not on me. It's not on me. And just when you thought my voice was going to be permanently damaged, me too. I was thinking to myself, it's all back. It's all good. Just in time for Fader night. All right. So, yeah, man, let's get this party started. Let's see who's up first. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. Who's calling? You're live.
Me?
Yes, you.
Hello? Hey.
Yes.
It's Wiley.
Wiley?
Yes, my name's Carmen, actually, but I'm the one who's always asking about astral travel.
Oh, that's you. The Wiley Coyote in the chat room.
Yes, it is. And the thing that I love so much about your whole program is how open-minded and everything that you do. and trying to reach out to people to ask about if anybody has any of these experiences.
I love it. I love it. Where are you calling from?
Sunland, California.
From where?
Sunland, California.
Oh, Sunland.
Yes, very close to. I'm actually between you if you're in Palmdale and then Burbank back in your old area.
Yeah. Lakeview Terrace.
Yeah, that area, Lakeview Terrace. Yes. Lots
yeah.
of energy.
Oh,
Lots of energy.
That is a really cool part of the world right there. The end of the valley.
Yeah.
Right? It's the end.
Yeah,
or the beginning of the valley. It could be the beginning of the valley if you're facing west, right?
Well, also that there's a lot of tributaries that come down, like the Tahunga area and the Wash comes down. There's a lot of water there. And I have also found a lot of paleoanthropology artifacts. Actually, where you're at, Rosemont area, I found great artifacts there. And also in our little mountains here that separate the two. What is it, like the Angeles Crest area?
That area, I looked at homes up there many years ago. I know the area really well, and Sunland Boulevard, right, going up the hill. It's like its own little community. You've got your own restaurants, your own thing, and then the rest of the valley is out. You know what I mean? Once you get off and you start heading up the hill there, you're cut off. You know what I mean? You guys are that Sunland crowd, man. You guys are in your own little world. It's kind of like Tahunga. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And there's a lot of energy here with the mountains too. I guess it holds in the clouds or something there that creates downpours. Like we'll have flash floods here, and that's how we have the little wash always goes through. It actually goes down towards Burbank. And it goes down towards the LA River. It all goes into the LA River.
That's right. Yeah, I love that area. And, like I said, it's a different crowd. If you're living in Sunland, it's because you don't want to be around people. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying. Sunland is its own community, just like Tahunga. And, there's a few enclaves around LA that are like that. And Sunland is one of those very unique towns that you're close to Burbank. You can just drive down the hill. You're in Burbank. You're in the valley.
Right.
But you go in the other direction and you're just like, no, man, I'm kind of leaving. I'm leaving the world. I'm going back to Sunland to be by myself. So I love Sunland. Sunland's great.
It's a lot of energy here. And actually, due to the UFO stuff, I remember, I think it was back in the 80s, I had heard about, the different encounters with UFO things. It was very interesting because as a kid or, growing up here, I was fascinated with that. And I was watching a documentary on the TV. This is before the internet, before any of this kind of stuff. And I was always fascinated with UFOs. And so there I was like listening to the documentary talking about the different encounters, the first encounter, second encounter, third encounter. And they're like, okay. And then one of the third encounters or whatever it was here on Wentworth. And it was like this Wentworth Street that goes right up to Foothill. And it's right there by the 210. And I was like, oh my goodness, that is too close to home. And because I had horses my whole life and I've been riding my horse through there, and I've gone through different times of the day or night or whatever. And I just found it like so fascinating that one of the third encounters was there off of Wentworth. Yeah. And I found that so fascinating.
Yeah. And I remember when that went down. And that's not the only sighting in Sunland. There's been quite a few. And
Yeah.
I've had a couple of callers that have called in to talk about that. I'll tell you something else about Sunland that you didn't know. I can't say who, but I'll tell you this. One of the tippy top, I'm talking about top of the world, tippy top, best guitar painters in the world, artist, lives in Sunland. Yeah, that's right.
Way cool.
And their shop, the art studio is there. And I can't say who or what, but I've been there. And right there in Sunland. Yeah, I can't say any more than that. But yeah, I can't say any more.
No, I believe it. It was so funny when I was riding my horse there in Hampton Dam. I used to go and wait until the sun would set in Hampton Dam. I said there's so much energy in that area. But there was an artist. Poor guy. He had taken all of his paints there. It was fantastic. For me, I was like, "Who are you?" And I went over to him, and he was trying to paint because the beautiful mountains there turned purple. It was spectacular. And I was there picking this poor artist's brain, asking him, "Whoa, what are you doing here? What are you doing? This and that." And he's like, just trying to paint our mountains. And his name was Tim something, but he did a beautiful job. And I was really excited that there was an actual artist, with paints and a little easel there trying to paint our mountains. And I found that just fun. And I wanted to tell you, Jimmy, too, if you're in that area there by Lancaster, right at Rosamond, because I know Rosamond goes off into different areas, but there's so much paleo Indian artifacts there that I've personally found, and I've taken them to also that there's a museum out there. Gosh, I forget what their name was, but there is so much energy of paleoanthropology out there in that area. From the dry lake beds that were all out there, there was so much going on out there. A lot of atlatl points and just chippings and places that they would make big chopping type of implements and carvings. I found a carving and taken it to the museum out there. It's fascinating. There's so much energy in that part of the world. We're so blessed to have it there.
Yeah,
so that's what I love about you.
Yeah,
that you are so into that.
The dry lake bed, Morocco, it's crazy, man. It's so crazy. It's so big. And just like the Bonneville Salt Flats or these other areas throughout Southern California, Death Valley, right? It's just right here, and you don't know it. You drive up there by Rosamond, which is what you're talking about, and you take Rosamond Boulevard, and you look. It's on both sides. They're just flat salt lake bed. Flat.
Yes.
Forever. It goes on forever.
And you have to remember the cultures that traveled through that. It's indigenous cultures. It's so fascinating. There's so much out there.
All right,
it's
Wiley.
Spectacular.
You called me. What did you want to talk about tonight?
Well, you know me. I'm always asking about out of body stuff,
Mm-hmm.
and I am so curious about it because it happens to me, and I'm learning from everybody because I guess it doesn't happen to everyone, but I know there's a lot of people that don't talk about it or don't have anybody to talk about it. So that's the only thing I was really trying to put out there. I'm always asking about that because I've traveled and then I know about alien abductions. Oh, that's another thing. I think it was your thing that I had heard about was the Mojave incident. Do you remember that? The Mojave incident?
Of course. I had them on the show. A couple of times. Yeah.
So I was curious about that too, because it's like when things happen to people, we all say like, oh, no, that might not happen. But things do happen to us. And that's what I love about your show is trying to listen to everybody's stories and be open-minded to the situation, you know, and that's what I'm very grateful for.
Yeah, I appreciate that. And the Mojave incident, Ron Felber wrote the book, and Ron's a great guy. I'm still in touch with him. And that story, the book is fascinating. But when I finally got the couple on the show and got them to their real names and everything like that, and we did that show together. I often wondered at that time, and I still do, why isn't that incident so widely known? I mean, that should be right up there with Betty and Barney Hill or Travis Walton,
Right.
Roswell. I mean, that is a fascinating case, and so well documented by Ron, and right down the street here from Palmdale. You know, that was right here.
Very curious.
Yeah.
Very curious.
Yeah.
Yes. And no, but that's what I'm very grateful for. And that's why also too, when I'm on the chat or your YouTube thing, I am asking always people about their out of body things. And because one thing you can think about is if you're being abducted by aliens, but I don't think it is. And it for me, but I do travel out of body, and I can go up through my ceiling. I know it sounds really weird. I can roll out my window, and is it one of those dreams that you're aware of? I don't know, but it seems like these things happen. Like I know what a dream is, and I also know what out of body is. And I've been doing this, I mean, for over 30 years. So, but you can't ask people about that. You know what I mean? It's like people are like, what are you talking about?
No, you can't.
Know?
No,
so that's why.
Yeah, they would have to know what you were talking about. You can't just go and try to explain to somebody what you're talking about, first off. Second, if they don't know, they're going to look at you like you're absolute bonkers crazy. I mean, like,
and that's,
like bonkers crazy. So,
And that's what I love about your show too. Everybody's open-minded. You hear about these things, and I'm like, oh, I wish I can call in, or I wish I can talk to that person. But that's one thing that is fascinating about the subject is when you have it, you know, and I'll read books and I'm like, oh, they're talking about vibrations. They're talking about this kind of weird, it's the sensation. You have auditory hallucinations. You can have the feeling that somebody's pulling on your hair, somebody's cuddling you. It's really weird. So, that's why it's a very fascinating subject, and I'm always trying to find more people that might have insight.
Yeah, and that's why not only the show was great, but the chat room and Twitter. You're going to find people that anything that I bring up on the show, whether it's out of body or lucid dreaming or physics or science or technical things, whatever. There are some very smart people in this audience, and I love getting the feedback. I love getting corrected. People will correct me at the drop of a hat. Man, I'll get the email, church, right? And it's like they're so smart. So there you go, Wiley.
So fascinating.
Enjoy your weekend. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Okay, blessings, everyone. Thank you.
The absolute very best. There's Wiley right there from the chat room. And first up out of the gate tonight, thank you so much for that, Wiley. She's from Sunland. Sunland is one of my favorite places here in Southern California. And it is. If you look up Sunland on a map, you can see how isolated Sunland is. It's just all by itself. All right, let's go back to the phones. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. Who's calling?
Hi, Jimmy. It's Jessica.
Hi, Jessica. How are you?
Good.
What's going on?
I have a question. I was watching a bunch of new shows on Gaia, yours, the new Ancient Civilization series, the new Graham Hancock series on Netflix, and a whole bunch of other documentaries and stuff on Forbidden Knowledge TV, the new stuff that's been coming out. And You know, everyone's waiting on this UFO report to come out from the Pentagon or the ODNI or one of the three-letter agencies. But it's like, what does disclosure actually mean to the world if basically it's only the United States that everyone is expecting to give this disclosure from? You know what I mean? There's like so much more to the UFO phenomenon than just UFOs. There's the aliens, there's the inner Earth theories, there's the 20 and back theories, there's the whole secret space program, there's the whole, you know, there's so many different, you know, all the secrets underground and everywhere all over the world. Russia has their own networks that they don't even share with the United States. Like, how can we expect the world to get disclosure until the world comes together? The world isn't the United States only. The world consists of a lot of countries.
Yeah, that's right.
People.
Yeah, and it's it's a great question, and it's something that we all need to think about. And every time, and I've done this, Jessica, I've done this hundreds and hundreds of times, hundreds.
Every time, the best of the best, though.
Jessica, you didn't even know what I was going to say. Well, so let me finish. What I have done hundreds and hundreds of times is ask everybody, what is disclosure to you? And I get a different answer every single time. So if that is on this show and this program, what does that mean for the rest of the world? What is disclosure is something different to everybody. And so your what you have in your mind as disclosure, that's you. But that's not the person next to you or somebody else in the chat room. You know, I can post it right now. Pose this question to the chat room. What is disclosure to you? Go ahead, everybody. Just go ahead.
Everybody has a different opinion.
They do.
I talk to so many different people on Discord, on Christina's Discord, on Bill's Discord, and everybody's on to different topics. You know, everybody has their specific things that they talk about, or their interests, or their passions. You know, but the disclosure goes so much further than just UFOs and what they are and the species that goes along with them. It's about our origins and what the government is keeping from us and what all the governments need to come together and tell us.
Yeah, well,
that's what I think disclosure is supposed to be about.
Well, if we go,
and so much more.
If we go that, if what you're suggesting, that would be wonderful, by the way. But if what you're suggesting, where they just go, you know what? We're going to come clean about lost history. We're going to come clean about who's running the world. We're going to come clean about ET contact. We're going to come clean about free energy. We're going to come clean about, if you're asking, we're going to come clean about the JFK assassination. If you're asking like that type of disclosure, that'll never happen. The whole world would end. It would implode. The universe would it'd be like a giant black hole, right? So, baby steps. So can we start with one thing first? I mean, what if, you brought up Graham Hancock, right? Okay, so this TV show, which I think is good for the world, right? Isn't any revelations in the show. We've talked about everything that, is in that show. But for the rest of the world, this is new stuff, right? So let's say that bomb gets dropped. They come clean. Atlantis was real, right? They come clean with that the world didn't start at 3000 BC in Mesopotamia. No, actually, it started 150,000 years ago with another high-tech civilization that, if they came clean about that, whoa, what would we do?
That's going to be a big doozy.
But
the biggest doozy is the religion.
Everything gets tipped over. Everything. And, so at least for our community. Now, let's go with the rest of the world, right? Let's go with the 30% of the world that honestly doesn't give a shit. All they care about is going to work, getting paid, getting money into their IRA, and making their mortgage payment, right? And working towards a 3-car
like
garage.
my mom.
They're going to say, well, that's cool, but what is that? So what? Doesn't affect me, and I need that promotion. So for us, it would be revolutionary, right? It would be extraordinary. But think about how many people in this world don't care about life after death. They don't care about spirituality. They don't care about UFOs.
Don't even think about it.
They don't, the Bigfoot, crystal, whatever it is that you can think. No, it's not a part of their world. And that is a big chunk of this planet. So let's say Atlantis is real, right? And that revelation, well, I know. And that revelation gets dropped. We find Atlantis, right? And it's in Antarctica, and we unearth. Okay, there's going to be a lot of people on this planet that's going to be news to them for about 30 seconds, and then it's back to what they were doing, right? And watching sports on the weekends. You know what I'm saying, Jessica? Listen, I got to get to a break. This is a good phone call. Hey, Jessica, email me your address. I'll pop you off something special. All right?
Okay, thanks, Jimmy.
I'll talk to you. That's Jessica Rodriguez. Right there, automatically in the running, right there. That's a great phone call. And she's absolutely right with this. If we go back and we think about this, the real, Atlantis, right? Everything that Graham Hancock pops off in that, right? It's 8 episodes, I think. I've only watched 7. Just imagine if they dropped that Atlantis bomb on us. Well, yeah, we would freak out. See, I told you so. But not the majority of this planet probably wouldn't care. As crazy as that sounds. Yeah, think about that. The one episode in there, Gadam Penang is amazing. Great show on that. Great show on Gobekli Tepe. That was really cool. Some really Serpent Mound was pretty interesting. But I gotta say, Bemini Road. Yeah, and the way it's represented on the Perry Reese map, you kind of look at it like, dude, I think that's mountains. I don't think that's a road. That was the one episode that I think Grant wishes he could take back. Yeah, I'm not. I didn't feel that one. This is Fade to Black. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. Tonight, Fadernight, open lines all night long. Best 2 calls of the night. I will be giving copy of Jason Quitt's Egyptian Postures of Power. They're both autographed. It's Fadernight, 818-921-6929. 818-921-6929. I'll be right back after the short break. Stay with us.
This is Fade to Black with Jimmy Church on the Game Changer Radio Network.
Your 1 million gigawatt paranormal powerhouse, KUNX-DB, VX.
I'll be the host and MC once again this year for the 2023 Conscious Life Expo, February 10th through the 13th at the LAX Hilton in Los Angeles, California. This is a 4-day live event featuring hundreds of speakers, exhibitors, and not-to-miss special events. Check this out. Linda Moulton Howe, Bashar, Deborah King, Daniel Sheehan, George Norrie, David Wolf, Sean Stone, Danny Brinkley, Susan Slaughter, the Leo King, David Palmer, Scott Walter, and another 200 inspirational speakers. Special events include a disclosure lunch with me, Expo's Got Talent, hosted by me, a seance with Susan Slaughter, the George Norrie Forum, And the Leo King is going to DJ at a dance party. Over 200 exhibitors, over 200 speakers. It's the biggest event of the year. Tickets are on sale now at ConsciousLifeExpo.com. For everything you need, info, tickets, schedule, and speakers, please visit ConsciousLifeExpo.com. Go back, Lee Tappy.
This is Billy Carson, founder and CEO of ForbiddenKnowledge.tv. ForbiddenKnowledge.tv is the fastest growing and one of the most watched networks in the world. And I would like to personally invite you to check out our expanding library of TV, film, lectures, and special presentations. ForbiddenKnowledge.tv has over 6,000 videos covering lost history, health, UFOs, spirituality, and our future. We are committed to our community, and with my personal invitation, you can right now get your own free 30-day membership at ForbiddenKnowledge.tv. Your own library of information starts today at ForbiddenKnowledge.tv.
Because you never got that pony you always wanted. Damn it. Jimmy Church and Fade to Black on the Game Changer Network.
Listen, I know, and you know, that you've always wanted your first crystal skull. Or maybe you're a collector just like me, but you just don't know where to go to find the real thing. Then I met Carolyn Ford over at EinsteinTheCrystalSkull.com. Carolyn is the guardian of Einstein, one of the most respected ancient crystal skulls in the world. All of her unique skulls have been imprinted sitting with Einstein in his sacred lodge and are carved from the finest gemstone and materials. Imprinting is the process of receiving the ancient wisdom from the master skull or master computer. Einstein, the ancient crystal skull. To see Carolyn's current collection of crystal skulls, just visit her store at EinsteinTheCrystalSkull.com or click on the banner over on our site. Don't forget to use the promo code Jimmy at checkout to receive 10% off of your order today. That's promo code Jimmy. Finding your first or next crystal skull is easy. Just visit EinsteinTheCrystalSkull.com.
Hello, I'm Katie, and you're listening to my main man, Jimmy Church, on JimmyChurchRadio.com.
Ray Hobbs here, repping the X, and you're locked on to Fade to Black with my homie Jimmy Church. Powered by the Fadernauts and the unxnetwork.com.
This is Toby Kebbell. You're listening to JimmyChurchRadio.com. Don't hurt me, Jimmy. I'm only little.
Hey, I'm Adrian Grenier, and this is Ari Gold. We're the Honey Brothers.
Yes.
We are of the Honey Brothers. Hey, I'm Adrian Grenier, and I'm Ari Gold. We're the Honey Brothers, and you're listening to Jimmy Church.
The Revolution.
This is Jimmy Church of Fade to Black, and you can become an official Fadernaut by just going to our membership section at JimmyChurchRadio.com.
Hello, this is Serena Wright Taylor from Conscious Life Expo, and you're listening to Fade to Black with Jimmy Church, who holds the Lucky Pony record for the best astrological chart since 1963. True story.
This is Micah Hanks of the Gralien Report, and you're listening to Jimmy Church on Fade to Black.
Welcome back, Fade to Black. I am your host, Jimmy Church. All right, man. Okay. All right. I see what's going on. Let's see what's going on. Let me do that. All right. It's Thursday night. It is Fader night. It's open lines all night long. And with that, okay, I've got to put, I think I've got this call. Okay, wait a minute here. I'm going to do this in order. I believe this call has been on hold for, I think, the longest. Is this one or is it this one? Which one is? I think it's this one. Okay, let's go here. All right. Giving away 2 books tonight. Jason Quitt's Egyptian Postures of Power. 2 best calls of the night. Call-in number is 818-921-6929. And before I get back to the calls, I'm just saying that Bemini Road, which I was fascinated for years, but when you see it now, when I look at it, nah, it's natural. It's natural. It's not man-made. It's nope. And it's natural. My eyes look at that. Look, I want it to be man-made. I want it to be a submerged road. But it's not. It's not. Now, Yonaguni, man, and Robert Shaw came on the show, and he's scuba. He's checked it out. Yonaguni, to me, I don't know. I'm not one to argue with Robert Shaw, but yeah, no, not Bemini Road. Yonaguni, though, that's man-made. I just feel it in my bones. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. Who's calling?
Hey, Jimmy, it's Donna.
Hey, Donna. How are you?
Hanging in there. Really quick, I was going to suggest that you watch Warrior Nun, but oh well, you've already done that. So
it's amazing.
Yeah, I've got
so much fun.
4 episodes left, but it's not what I usually go for, but I really like it.
It's really good. Well, look, it's worth the price of admission to watch nuns drop F-bombs.
I recommend it.
Right?
And kick butt.
They kick butt and drop F-bombs. Yeah, I love it.
Yeah.
Some really good,
me too.
really good, really good fight scenes. And just when you think, it's nuns, it's, and the whole, hang on, they're nuns. And so the whole religious aspect of this, the good and the evil, they got the Pope and the Vatican and, all of it. And you're like, man, is this some kind of Vatican propaganda? Is that what this is going to be? Is this going to turn out to be? No, it ain't any of that. It's it's good. Yeah, it's a good series.
Different.
Yeah, it's totally different. I loved the first season. I really did. I thought the first season was awesome, and I forget the girl's name that plays the lead. She's just awesome. I mean, she's just really good. The whole cast is great. What's his name plays the Pope. He plays the Pope in every movie, and he's really good too as well. So anyway, fantastic, good stuff.
Yeah, and
you haven't. Wait a minute.
The reason why I was going to call.
Wait, Donna. You've got 4 episodes left, right?
Yeah.
So what you're saying is, have you seen the episode where they have the meeting at the Vatican with everybody sitting around the table? Have you? Okay, no, you haven't seen that yet.
I probably have.
No. You would know. Okay, you would know. You would say, yes, I saw it. Okay, so wait till that goes down. Oh, crap. It's not. It is not what you. Okay, so just wait for that. Anyway, what's on your mind? What's going on?
Didn't you say when you were in Egypt that you were in someplace inside of it and it looked like the walls had melted plastic or glass on them or something like that?
You're talking about the Serapeum, and the melted granite boxes. I've got lots of pictures and lots of video of that. Yes.
Well, I was thinking. I thought you meant like with the walls and everything. I was thinking. It made me think of the Tok'ra.
The what?
Off of Stargate.
Oh, no, okay. But this isn't the walls. This is the boxes themselves. No, if the walls were like that in the Serapeum, that'd be a whole nother. It's trippy enough in there, though. The Serapeum, man. It's too bad we're doing Fadernight. Otherwise, I play the video right now. I play the video. I got so much stuff from the Serapeum. I could not believe the thing that. And I keep going back to this. Everybody needs to, you don't get it. And I tried to capture it the best that I could. The Serapeum is not talked about enough, and it should be. But here's the thing. When you walk down, you're in the desert. You're in the desert. Donna, it's the desert. sand. It's the desert. And you walk down this ramp and you go in the door below the desert and you walk in and you see that. I'm telling you, the biggest shopping mall that you used to go to when you were a kid, this is bigger. All right? It's like that.
Yeah, but it's out in the desert anyway, and I used to live in the middle of a desert, and there's something special about the desert. I mean, it's beautiful and stark and everything all at once.
It's massive, man. The Serapeum is massive.
Yeah.
It's massive. It's massive. It's bigger than whatever you think you can imagine. It's bigger than that. It's crazy.
What I've seen on TV and everything of Egypt wouldn't compare to me actually being there. It's like, remember when they found all those terracotta soldiers in China?
Yep, I do.
They had, I think a year or so later, they had a Chinese exhibit at the horse park, and I was working there at the time, and they brought one of those there. And seeing it on TV is like nothing like actually standing in front of one of them and seeing it. That thing was huge.
You know, they had thousands of them, and every one had its own face.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they weren't replicated. Each one was unique. And didn't they find, wasn't there like a pool of mercury? You know, something like that down there too as well?
Sounds like that. But I saw the from videos, because they had a video showing at the there as well for the exhibit. It was a whole Chinese exhibit, and it showed rows and rows of those things. And they brought one of them to Kentucky for that back in the late 90s. And it was there, and I actually got to see it in person. And incidentally enough, at the same time they were having that exhibit, the person that stood in front of that tank at Tiananmen Square was at the UK. He was a student there.
Oh, really? The guy that was waving the white flag and tried to stop the tank? Yeah, I remember that guy. He laid down, right?
Guy standing in front of the tank in Tiananmen Square.
Yeah. He went to the University of Kentucky?
Yeah, he was there for, I don't know what he was there for, but he was a student there for a little while.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool. They let him out of prison? I'm surprised. Yeah, I always wonder what happened to that
dude.
They
actually mentioned that. Yeah, they mentioned that during the exhibit.
Yeah, that's cool. All right, so what's on your mind? What's going on?
That's what I was going to, because I misheard you with the whole melted thing, though. But, you know, hey, at least you set me straight with what you said, but it still made it really interesting.
Yeah, the Serapeum. I've got so much video and so many pictures of the Serapeum. I've only shown a couple of the videos. I've got like 4. And I've just got to put it all together in one big documentary in order with the pictures and just pop it up there. Maybe I'll do it this weekend. It'll take a while. I need graphics too.
It's really funny with the videos that you've been showing and everything. Those people that did Stargate, the series and everything, they did some serious homework.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Because everything from even that what's the name of it? That bulb.
Dendera, the Dendera light bulb.
Yeah, that's it. That bulb.
Yep. It's crazy.
That thing's not. That has to be a real light bulb.
Yeah, I say Dendera when you go to Egypt. The people there, they call it Dendera.
Oh, okay, Dendera.
Yeah, I still say Dendera. I can't help it, but no, they're Dendera. So the Dendera light bulb.
That's just like there's a place here in Kentucky called Versailles, and people who are out of town call it Versailles.
That's because it is Versailles.
Yeah, but everybody here pronounces it Versailles.
Yeah, that's because it's Kentucky. Hey,
Yeah.
Donna, enjoy your weekend. Thank you so much.
You too. And as far as B-52s, what you're talking about yesterday with Richard Owen,
Yep.
I'll never get tired of rock lobster.
No, who could? Who could?
No.
Thank you so much, Donna. I still love Shack too as well. That's Donna from Kentucky. The Sarah PM. I'm telling you. All right. Let's see. Where am I going next? Where am I going next? Let's go right here. All right. It's Thursday night. It is Fadernight. Open lines all night long. 818-921-6929. Let's see who's up next. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black.
It is Fadernight. Hi. How you doing, Jimmy? It's Joe from Philadelphia.
Hey, Joe. How you doing?
I'm not too bad. I have a question or idea. I'm not sure if I'm the first one to think about this, and it's most likely not. But my question, observation is on Sasquatch, Bigfoot, Yeti, the whole cryptid genre.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to call him a creature because I think he's a lot more intelligent. They are a lot more intelligent than a lot of folks give them credit for.
Okay.
And again, like I said, I belong to MUFON, so I was at a lecture given to one of our state investigators, Fred Solange, and he's also a cryptozoologist.
Okay.
His theory is that Bigfoot is interdimensional, which explains why he's able to show up and then disappear out of nowhere. And that possibly, I'm thinking, we have all these, what do you call them, Bigfoot hunters out there trying to catch him. And I think basically he's playing with them. Yeah. But my question is, or observation is, most reports given about Bigfoot, Yeti, etc., is that they are more or less trying to avoid us rather than attacking. It's very rare you ever hear of a Bigfoot, Yeti, etc. attack. Right? The one I can think of, the most recent, is in Russia. I believe it was Russia. They were having an entire scientific team that was up in one of the mountains, and they found the entire team slaughtered.
Right.
Half of them
Right.
weren't even wearing full clothes; they were in underwear. Apparently, from accounts, bodies were, sliced in half, whatever, you know what I mean?
You're talking about Dyatlov Pass.
Yes, it was not a pleasant scene. And they theorized it could have been Yeti. And there's very rarely you hear any other attacks from Bigfoot. My theory is, question, could these very rare attacks have been misidentified, not as a Bigfoot, Yeti, etc., but maybe a Nephilim?
Okay. Now, and thank you for the call, Joe. And let me say this. That aspect to it, could Bigfoot just be the giants, could be the Nephilim, that have been referenced throughout history. And I think it's a great question. I have spoken about this so often. When we have, I think there's suppression of that part of history. So much conversation, not only in the Bible, but different cultures around the world that talk about giants that came in and built this and did this and built this and moved this. And we think about some of these megalithic structures around the world that are just ginormous, that we would have problems moving today with huge cranes and stuff, how difficult it would be to quarry and move these stones. And like, I'll give you another example, the obelisk in Egypt. These things are huge. How do they get those moved? Anyway, how do they tip them up once they did get them moved? Are we talking about a bigger race of people? And could, if we look at that, Catalina Island here, giants in America, Lots of chatter about this. All the proof of it is gone. Now, here, if you know what I mean, there aren't giant skeletons in history museums. No, they just don't exist. Could it be that they still survive? Could that be Sasquatch? Could that be Bigfoot? Could that be different versions of Bigfoot stories over the years too, as well? I think it's a real possibility. I don't put it high up on the list with other theories and ideas when it comes to Bigfoot, Sasquatch, Yeti, Snow Beast, Snowman. The interdimensional aspect, I lean more on that today than ever before. Could it be a species that is still yet to be discovered? Also a possibility. Is it a combination of both? Possibility. And when we talk about interdimensional, there's two ways to look at interdimensional. Interdimensional in that they are going from a parallel world and entering our world and then going back out the same way. There's that. And then there's the other part where they are just existing right alongside us right now, along with everything else. And we're just not on the frequency to see it. So that's another possibility. I don't know. I don't have the answers. Joe, I don't. Could it be giants in America? Could it be the Nephilim? Could Bigfoot be that? Absolutely. Anything is possible. Like I said, if I had $50 million, I'd put a bounty on Bigfoot. Thank you for the call, Joe.
No problem. Thank you.
Have a great weekend. Thank you so much. That's a great phone call. That puts Joe in the running. Let's see who's up next. This is Fade to Black. I am your host, Jimmy Church. Hi, you're live. Who's calling?
Hey, Jim, it's Frank from Fort Knox.
Frank from Fort Knox. How you doing, Frank? What's on your mind?
I'm doing good. How about yourself? So I was just curious if you had, private conversations with Robert Bob Dean.
No, he got sick and got out of the scene as I started into broadcast, and then of course passed away too as well. So no, I never did. I never met Bob and never interviewed. Fascinating guy. Followed him for years, no doubt about it. Why do you bring him up?
Well, I was just curious about when I was watching one of the conferences back in, I want to say in the 90s, like 91, 92.
Uh-huh.
And it was like one of the first ones. And he said, and back in that time, which is, what he said, about 30 years now, he said, we already had hyperluminal flight for over 40 years. And he said that back in them days.
Uh-huh.
And supposedly it was, I guess it was a guy from, I couldn't think of his name now, but a guy from Northrop Grumman that was relaying information to him about saying he was already having hyperluminal flight.
That's right.
So
Bob said that and other things like that many times. And the other thing about Bob, he brought so many cases forward. He was a huge wealth of knowledge. And there were two cats back then. Well, there was a few, but there were two cats back then that people were paying a lot of attention to. That was Wendell Stevens and Bob Dean. And both of them had a military background, verified, and they, brought forward all of this information, from civilians and stuff like that too. But a big chunk of what they brought to the community was military information, and Bob Dean, man, he was right at the front of it. Love Bob Dean. He got sick and, backed off of the circuit. And I just never had a chance to catch up to him.
Yeah. Well, I thought it was pretty interesting when he said he went in kind of reclusion, if you will. And he was doing remote viewing, I guess, in his private time. And of course, being where I live at, he said he was remote viewing Fort Knox, and apparently there's no gold here. Which, I mean, if you ask me personally, I think the building's just sitting there for show. But
no, I think there's gold.
I
think there's gold in Fort Knox.
Confirm or deny.
Yeah, I think there's gold in Fort Knox. I just don't know how much. I remember hearing before I let you go, Frank. I remember hearing this about 20 years ago that they moved and sold a bunch of the gold out of Fort Knox. All right, that there was like a tenth of what was there throughout history, and that they moved it out. Now, I don't know if that's true, and they do. I think Congress does an audit, don't they? They go in there once a year and count bricks, right? Don't they?
I believe so.
Yeah.
Obviously, the last public one, I think, was in 71 or 72, where they brought in the public and they showed everybody the bars in it. They have vintage footage of it. I want to say that was the last time that it was, the public could see it. But yeah, what you're saying, I think they still do to this day. I would think so.
Well, let's see. Hold on. Is there gold in Fort Knox? Let's see. I got 1 minute. It says here, Fort Knox currently houses 147.3 million ounces of gold. The government says the bullion has a book value of $6.22 billion. However, that's on a fixed price that officials set in 1973. So how much is an ounce of gold today? It's like, what, $1,200? I don't know, $1,500? I don't know. How much is it?
I would definitely say it's between 12 to 15, at least.
Okay, so if we've got, let's see, 1,500 times 147, and then we'll add 6 zeros to that. That's about $220 billion.
That's a penny or two.
Yeah, that's a pretty good chunk of change. 220 billion. Well, you know what? We gave that much to Ukraine last month. All right, Frank, enjoy your weekend, my man. Thank you so much.
You too, brother. Go Beckley Teppy.
Go Beckley Teppy. Another great phone call right there. This is Fade to Black. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. It's Thursday night. It is Fader Night. 818-921-6929. I'm giving away 2 books tonight. 2 copies, autographed. Jason Quitt's Egyptian Postures of Power. That's right. I'll be right back.
Way out here, we listen to Jimmy Church.
You're listening to Fade to Black.
You're listening to Jimmy Church and Fade to Black on the X.
¿Qué tal, mis amigos? Yo soy Mario Carson, el tiburón, y los invito para que escuchen a mi buen amigo Jimmy Church Radio. ¡Claro que sí!
The Believer is the chilling true story of Dr. John Mack, a renowned Harvard psychiatrist and Pulitzer Prize winner.
This is an outreach program from the cosmos to the consciously impaired.
He risked it all to investigate human encounters with aliens. The Believer, Alien Encounters, Hard Science, and the Passion of John Mack. Written by award-winning former New York Times journalist and author Ralph Blumenthal. Now available in paperback from High Road Books.
Introducing the Game Changer blend from River Moon Coffee that delivers a customized blend made specifically for the Fadernauts. If the game is rigged, change the game. It's a bolder cup with some bite. Game Changer is the coffee of choice for those that prefer an organic dark roast that is slightly lighter and milder, but it's still dark. with wild notes of pecans and chocolate with a rich, balanced, full-bodied cup that is roasted to perfection, or a great coffee to start your day as an after-dinner coffee or anywhere in between. Artisan, small batch, roasted to perfection. USDA certified organic, all River Moon coffee is freshly roasted and packaged in the USA. Just go to rivermooncoffee.com or click on the banners over on our site and use the promo code F2BBLEND for 15% off of your order today. rivermooncoffee.com. Do you want to be an official Fadernight? Of course you do. This is Jimmy Church of Fade to Black. Just go to our membership section at jimmychurchradio.com. Fadernauts, when you think about the future of our country and where we're headed, do you wonder about the food supply? I do. Disruptions in the food supply chain could be disastrous, and they usually occur with little warning. That's why the smartest thing you can do today is to stockpile emergency food, water, and other essentials. I personally recommend My Patriot Supply. They're the nation's largest emergency preparedness company, serving millions of customers for more than a decade. In fact, they're the only source my family trusts for our preparedness plan. You should too. Right now, save 20% off a full 4-week supply of delicious meals that provide 2,000 calories a day. Saving 20% helps too, doesn't it? Especially now. So go to preparewithjimmy.com and get ready. That's preparewithjimmy.com. There's no time to lose. Do it now.
So, you love talk radio? Then you'll love TalkStreamLive.com. TalkStream Live is always on, 24/7 with the best streaming talk shows. Find your favorite talkers and discover some new ones. It's free, readily available online or on mobile with any smartphone or tablet. Finding your favorite talk shows all in one place has gotten a whole lot easier. Just go to TalkStreamLive.com. Be sure to download the free apps from Google Play or the iTunes App Store.
You listen to us, and we listen to you. And so does the CIA.
Hi, I'm Ray Sobbs, and I'm here to tell you about something I really think you're going to like. The UnX Network is a part of a larger group called UnX Media, and one of the things we offer is the quarterly UnX magazine, which is available both in print and digital formats. This amazing magazine covers all aspects of the unexplained and makes for a great coffee table periodical that is certain to spark enlightening conversations in your living rooms. We invite you to check out the latest digital issue for free. Just go to unxnetwork.com/membership and fill out your free membership with your name and email and become a new free member. The new summer issue is now available, and the theme is Time Anomalies, which includes a feature article written by our managing editor, Lee Spiegel. Just go to unxnetwork.com/memberships. That's unxnetwork.com/memberships and get your free e-copy of the UnX magazine today.
You are listening to Fade to Black with Jimmy Church on the Game Changer Network.
Oi, oi, I'm Reese Evans. You're listening to Jimmy Church. This is Revolution. The revolution will not be televised. The revolution is on radio. Ciao.
Welcome back, Fade to Black. I'm your Jimmy Church. Tonight's Thursday. Fadernight. Open lines all night long. Tonight, top 2 calls of the night. Giving away 2 copies, autographed. Jason Quitt's book, Egyptian Postures of Power. It's a great book, by the way. So there you go. I've got 2 of these. Look, they're right here. They're both autographed. Giving these away. All right. I don't want that to slide off, so I'll put one here. I'll put the other one here. Going back to Fort Knox. Thank you for the phone call, Frank. And man, I've got this magnetic. What do they call it? The mag charger, the mag safe. Have you guys seen? Oh, I can't put it up here in front of the camera. It's so nice. Love it. Okay. Going back to Frank's call about Fort Knox. You know what else is in Fort Knox besides that gold? By the way, it was last opened in 2017. And so just, a little audit to go in and make sure that the gold is safe and it's still there. That was in 2017. But you know what else is in Fort Knox? Are you ready for this? Heroin. That's right. Morphine. That's right. Listen to this. Morphine sulfate, right? During the Cold War, the United States military wanted to be certain that it had a healthy supply of pain meds in case foreign opium sources ever got cut off. So, in 1955, Fort Knox opened its doors to tons of opium. That's right. The government spent millions of dollars refining the stuff into morphine in 1993. It's still stored at Fort Knox alongside the gold. How's that? That's a trip. That's a trip. They also had the Magna Carta there for a while. They had the Crown of Hungary. They had that there until 1978. Nazis took it, World War II. Americans got it back, brought it over here, and finally gave it back to Hungary in 1978. But they've had the Magna Carta in there like twice. Yep, and it's back in England. But now it's gold. And hey, Ron, that's a trip. Morphine sulfate. That's a trip, isn't it? What's more valuable than gold? Hey, Ron, there's your answer right there. In Fort Knox, tons of it. That's fascinating to me. All right, let's go back to the phones. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. Who's calling?
Hey, Jimmy, this is Kelly Robinson from North Carolina, Western North Carolina.
All right, Kelly.
Burke County, to be in fact.
What's on your mind tonight, man?
Yeah, man. So this my call in is kind of pertaining to the first call from Wiley with the astral out of body experiences, and so I'd just like to talk about kind of the beginning of my experiences with out of body. This is like super personal. I've been wanting to call in and kind of talk about it. I talk about it very little just because it has a level of intimacy with me, a very intimate situation.
Sure.
And it happened accidentally. So back in 2017, I was taking a horticulture class and I acquired a back injury. It was like an L5-S1 disc injury. So it's like a major bulge disc. You could, when I lifted up my shirt, like on my back, you could see it's like a little marble on the right side. So,
that sucks. That sucks.
It did, but I've healed myself from it, which was beautiful. And so due to those like inversion boards, I religiously used those and just treated myself. So, but regardless, so during that time, it was difficult to walk for like 6 weeks. I had to have help kind of getting around, getting out of bed. It hurt to have like BMs, man. It was just, the typical, you've hurt your back in that area. So, yeah, I was in a relationship at the time. And so the girl that I was dating, she was super sweet, super awesome, and would help me up, obviously help me, move around. And the specialist said, you don't want to stay stagnant. You want to get moving around. You don't want to, obviously it wasn't an injury that, where I was able to kind of get up, get down, move around. So, I was laying down horizontally in the floor one night out in the foyer, and she was helping me get up because it was early on in the injury, and I would have had massive trouble trying to get up on my own. She could have just kind of walked away and left me there, and I would have had to just lay there pretty much and go to sleep. So I'm on my back, and she's standing with one foot on each side. So she's like, I'm directly underneath, her waist, pelvis. And so she's leaning over, and I've got my hands reached out, to help for her to help me get up. And so she has, each of my hand. And so she's helping me up, and I get to about the 45-degree angle. And then literally like instant, it was like a lightning strike hit my spine. And so I just remember at that point, it was the worst, like actual nervous system pain that I'd experienced at that point that I can remember from being born. And so literally at that moment, Jimmy, the next situation that happened was I am observing my actual physical body and her. So I am in the ceiling. So I went from raising up, 45-degree angle, lightning strike in the spine. And then next thing you know, I am an observer, and I'm looking down at my body, my physical body, and I'm looking at her standing over me in the same position. I'm like looking down at her back and the top of her head. And so I'm just observing at this point. So I see her kind of lean back down, and she lets go of my arms, and she's kind of looking at me. She's saying, Kelly, Kelly. And then I watch her step across my body, and I watch her walk around, and then she kneels down and she cradles my head like a little pumpkin or whatever. And she's saying, Kelly, wake up, snap out of it, Kelly. And as that's going on, I begin to kind of look. Begin to kind of look around, because at first I'm just observing. I'm just, just like a spotlight, just kind of looking straight. And I noticed that there's this white tube. I called it the white cord at the time. I didn't know much about how to describe it after the situation happened. And so I look at this white tubing, and it just snakes down, and it's like attached to the center of my body. And there's kind of like this little white aura that's kind of like just very light and hazy, just that it's attached to. And so I'm noticing that, and I'm begin to kind of formulate thoughts on my own. I begin to kind of go out of the observer mode into kind of thought process, your thought by thought.
Okay, Kelly,
so
I just have, was this was the first time that you have experienced this, right?
Yes, this was like first, like full fledged. Now I've had experiences before that dealt with, psychedelics and
morphine,
major
sulfate.
situations,
Yeah,
but this was,
I get all that.
This was full,
right. But this is
full blown, thrown into it.
Okay, let's go. Keep going.
Okay, so I noticed this cord, and it's literally, and I can attest to it being like an umbilical cord. And so I'm still in the ceiling, and so I notice, and as I'm beginning to think and formulate my thought by thought process, I notice I'm looking around the room, and there's a door, and she has two twin boys, and they were asleep in the next room in the bed. And so the door is closed, and I can literally see through the wall, and I can see these two little sweet boys laying in the bed asleep. And I'm looking at them, and I look back at me, and she's still trying to wake me up. She's smacking my face, saying, Kelly, snap out of it. Wake up, Kelly, Kelly, Kelly. And so at that moment, I'm beginning to put the momentary lapse of situations together, and then all of a sudden I became afraid. All of a sudden I have the fear, the emotion of fear sets in. And Jimmy, as soon as that fear entered in whatever, state of consciousness I was in at that point, it was literally like something above me in the ceiling took my, we'll just use astral other state of, observational consciousness that I was in. And it was literally like it took me in a slingshot and just pulled it back and just slingshotted me back into my physical body. And then I just remember that instant just coming alive, just going, oh my gosh, I was looking at her, and I was like, how long? Did you just see that?
Yeah, Kelly, hold on. Yeah. I've got 15 questions, but the first one,
okay.
How long? How long was this?
Okay, so this probably lasted at least 12 to 15 seconds, between 12 and maybe 20 seconds long. This kind of just from the lightning strike to the fear.
Okay.
So observing.
Next question, just for clarification. You said that you were inverting, right? You were hanging upside down?
No, that was how I kind of helped solve my back situation. I was actually horizontal on the floor.
Okay, so you answered the question. What my question was, were you on the inversion board? Because you said 45-degree angle. No, you were not on the inversion board. You were lying flat on the floor.
Correct.
Okay, so when you say 45-degree angle, you were just sitting up at a 45-degree angle.
Right. She was helping me up. She was pulling my hands up to pull my upper half of my body. I could help get up so we could go to bed.
No morphine sulfate, no painkillers, nothing in your system?
Nothing, no.
Wow. Okay, now, okay, so now we got all that clarified, right? No inversion board.
Right.
You're flat on the ground. You're stone cold sober, and this is the first time.
Cold sober.
Correct?
First time, correct.
Wow. Okay. Did you understand what was going on? That's question number one. You can answer that yes or no.
Yes.
You did.
But not to the full extent. I was aware. I had the awareness of it. I didn't fully. I had an idea because I just through research and as a young child, I was existentially aware. And so as you grow into, an older child / early adulthood, I had this existential awareness at a very young age to where I was very open. I'm down the paths that we and the awesome Fadernights and the family of others, that we have this awareness of certain said things. So,
okay.
So yes.
Did it seem, and I want you to take this the wrong way, okay? Take it the wrong way, not the right way. Did you think it was real?
Absolutely.
Okay.
1,000%. I was so thankful. I was like, oh my gosh, because it was accidental. It wasn't. Right. I didn't try to achieve it, but it does. The story progresses up until current times.
Okay. Which takes me to, and I just cut you off, but I have to. I want to get all of this in before we get to the break. You said at the end, you turned and she said, and you said, right? And you guys were like, what? Right? What was the conversation between the two of you?
She was under the impression that I blacked out. She thought I somehow lost consciousness, blacked out. And I explained to her every little detail of what she did, how she stepped over me, and how she knelt down on her knees and cradled my head, and which hand she used to slap my face, and what exactly she was saying. So
she slapped you? You said she slapped you?
Yeah, she was trying to slap me out of it. She was saying like, "Wake, Kelly, wake up! Snap out of it, Kelly, snap out of it."
Were your eyes closed?
My eyes were closed. Yes.
Oh, that's even trippier. So she knew they. Oh, okay.
Which she didn't know until I explained it to her. She thought I just passed out. She was helping me up, and next thing you know, I go kind of limp.
Right.
To her, and I'm up in the ceiling observing myself. I think the pain threshold was at a situation where whatever the consciousness, spiritual, what truly we are, like YOUME, us, our, whatever is the inside. I think it just was like, oh, you got to check out. That pain is just a little bit too weird going on right now. We've got to check out for a minute. We got to get out of the body, because whenever I was out of there, it felt so like painless. It felt so just incredibly warm and not hot warm, but just like comfortable, just such a homeostasis. Beautiful.
Yeah, I went through the same thing, exact same situation. I was in the hospital. I was admitting into the hospital, and crazy pain. I don't want to get into the details of it, but it was from the top of my head to the tips of my toes, and I knew that my body was failing. Right, it was just an incredible pain, and I was really, 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 really sick. I was in the hospital for a month. Okay, but this is when I was going in. And I was in so much pain. And I remember there were 3 doctors at the foot of my bed, and there was one female doctor. And she says to me, she's got a clipboard. She goes, we're going to admit you to the hospital for a few days. And I said, what? And I was in so much pain, right? I'm like, well, what are you saying?
Right.
I'm like 20 years old. And she goes, yeah. I said, well, what's going on? We don't know. And I just remember thinking, I'm going into the boom. I was out 4 days, out cold, 4 days. Now, for those 4 days, I didn't feel anything. No, man. I dug it. I was in like a warm bosom. I don't even know how to explain it, man.
You're being taken care of.
Yeah. Okay,
yourself.
Let's get to my next question. When did you do it again?
So we'll fast forward about close to 2 years. I'm out of the relationship, so I have quite a bit more time to my actual personal self and quote unquote on my hands. And so after that, I knew I had to deep dive into a journey. I knew I needed to do what needed to be done. So I went on a abstinence, where I abstinence from partner and self-abstinence. And I'm sure we can all, understand the adult version of abstinence, for 1 year, 2 months, and 15 days. And so during that time, I exercised meditation in the time that I wasn't working, and the time that I had to myself. And so I took it to, I wanted to take it to the max, more than I had before. And so also too, during the times that I would have what I would consider successful meditative journeys, because literally like out of 20, 40 minutes of, meditation, I would only meditate for maybe like a minute and a half, 2 minutes. But during those minute and a half, 2 minutes, like, you're in. When you enter in a certain type of meditation, like, you're there. But it was they're brief moments, but you kind of start to get the hang of it. So during some of these well-lit meditative sessions, I would try to have a visceral experience of leaving my body. And so what I would do is something that I had researched. In front of where my bed is, I've got a closet door, and it's a white door, and I would put about a 2-inch black dot on that door. And so the light level would be low, and I'm laying there, and I'm feeling great, because I would have a good, successful, what I would consider successful meditative situation. And I'm in that like sleep, but not sleep / awake, and just hazy, beautiful mood. And so I would lay down on my back, and I'm comfortable in bed. And then I would look at that black dot, and I would feel myself, my actual capital, all caps, myself, that's inside. I would imagine myself lifting out of my bed and going straight towards that dot. And I would just keep doing that. And it was unsuccessful multiple times. But then the one time, all of a sudden, I felt something, and it felt like if you were, it's like a magnetic opposition where you can feel that force.
Mm-hmm.
I could feel the kind of just like coming out of my body, and I could just feel it kind of separating from my physical body. And I was like, oh my gosh. And I became afraid, and then it quit, immediately stopped. And so I was like, oh my gosh. Right. I was excited, disappointed at the same time. And so we'll fast forward to about a month and a half after that. And then I tried it maybe 3 times between that second situation. And then the third time, I was able to put myself in the same state, and I'm focusing on that black dot. I'm just looking at the black dot. It's all I'm concerned about. Everything else in life, everything that I've ever known, concerned or cared about or anything, it's all in that black dot. It's like the only thing that matters to life right now is that black dot. And so I'm imagining I'm pulling myself out of bed, and then I get farther than the second time, and I'm literally like halfway out of my body, and I can just feel it, and I can just see this like white haze that's in the form of my actual body, and it's kind of like I don't want to call it a blob, but it's it's you, it's and I'm literally coming out of my body, and I'm there. I can see and I can feel it coming out of my physical body, and this is true. This is 100% true. And I'm like halfway out, and I'm almost there, and I become afraid again. And as soon as that fear hits, I've got a problem with the fear. As soon as the fear hits,
sure, man, I'm freaking out. I'm freaking out, and I'm just listening to the story. All right, well, Kelly, I'm just going to do this.
Absolutely.
I'm going to put you on hold. I got to get to a break.
Okay.
Because
good deal. I understand.
We haven't gone to phase 2 yet. We've only gone halfway there. So let's finish that after the break. And you know what? I'm not going to upset the Fadernauts, Kelly. You know what would happen if I said, hey, great phone call. I got to get to a break. Thank you so much. So
you're welcome.
We'll pick up where we're leaving off when I come back. Stay with us.
See you there.
Hi, everybody. This is Rob Halford, the Metal Guard on JimmyChurchRadio.com.
Your 1 million gigawatt paranormal powerhouse, KUNX-DB, the X.
The Believer is the chilling true story of Dr. John Mack, a renowned Harvard psychiatrist and Pulitzer Prize winner.
This is an outreach program from the cosmos to the consciously impaired.
He risked it all to investigate human encounters with aliens. The Believer, Alien Encounters, Hard Science, and the Passion of John Mack. Written by award-winning former New York Times journalist and author Ralph Blumenthal. Now available in paperback from High Road Books.
Are you ready to read about true paranormal events? UNX Media publishes nonfiction books about UFOs, ghosts and haunted places, time anomalies, cryptid creatures, and more. Just like KUNX-DB Radio, it's all about unexplained phenomena. Visit www.unxmedia.com to see our list of great book titles by Debbie Ziegelmeyer, Gene Walker, Devin Listrom, Wayne Lawrence, Bill Spicer, and yours truly, Margie Kay. That's unxmedia.com.
This is Jimmy Church of Fade to Black, and I only drink Fade to Black blend coffee from Rivermoon. Just click on the Rivermoon Coffee banner at jimmychurchradio.com. Promo code F2B Blend.
This is the only way forward.
This is Fade to Black. Make contact.
Ray Hobbs here, repping the X, and you're locked on to Fade to Black with my homie Jimmy Church. Powered by the Fadernauts and the unxnetwork.com.
I'll be the host and MC once again this year for the 2023 Conscious Life Expo, February 10th through the 13th at the LAX Hilton in Los Angeles, California. This is a 4-day live event featuring hundreds of speakers, exhibitors, and not-to-miss special events. Check this out. Linda Moulton Howe, Bashar, Deborah King, Daniel Sheehan, George Norrie, David Wolf, Sean Stone, Danny Brinkley, Susan Slaughter, the Leo King, David Palmer, Scott Walter, and another 200 inspirational speakers. Special events include a disclosure lunch with me, Expo's Got Talent, hosted by me, a seance with Susan Slaughter, the George Norrie Forum, and the Leo King is going to DJ at a dance party. Over 200 exhibitors, over 200 speakers. It's the biggest event of the year. Tickets are on sale now at ConsciousLifeExpo.com. For everything you need, info, tickets, schedule, and speakers, please visit ConsciousLifeExpo.com. Go back, Lee Tappy.
When you take the beans from Central America with dashes of Indonesian and African mixed in and then roast it to the dark side of Fade to Black, you create the ultimate brew of fringe. Introducing the Fade to Black blend from Rivermoon Coffee. Yes, Rivermoon's darkest customized roast was created for the love of Fade to Black. The alchemy of masterful roasting and smoking the beans is in every sip of this full-bodied, dark Java. I need my coffee dark, deep, with distinct bittersweet chocolate highlights, just like the bunker. Leaning further into the darkness of the roast is Fade to Black Blend from River Moon Coffee. Just click on the banner at jimmychurchradio.com and use the promo code F2BBLEND for 15% off of your order today.
You want to know a secret? I love ponies. I really love ponies. I'm serious. I couldn't stay sane without ponies to brush.
Why Fade to Black? Because you never got that pony, damn it.
This is Fade to Black with Jimmy Church on the Game Changer Radio Network.
All right. Welcome back. Fade to Black. I am your host, Jimmy Church. Tonight's Thursday. It's Fadernight. Open lines all night long. Giving away 2 books tonight, 2 best calls. Both autographed copies of Jason Quitt's book, Egyptian Postures of Power. Now, before the break, Kelly Robinson was with us sharing about how he did his first out-of-body, had a back injury, was forced into his out-of-body experience by his ex-girlfriend that tried to help him up off the floor. And the next thing you know, bing, he's looking at now he's trying to figure this out. Now it's a couple of years later. And Kelly, you were telling us you were focusing on a black dot, but you kept chickening out once you got there. So let's move. I've got calls on hold. I want to get to everybody else. So when did you finally figure out how to do it? What happened?
It would have been the next go around. So it would have been about it would have been the 4th time after the initial fear of the first. Well, I would consider the first 3. It's all about having this control of your emotions, which is a little bit more difficult than it is in a way. So the next time I came out, and it's each time it was progressing further and further and further. And with the 4th time, I'm literally like out of my body, and it's a, I don't want to call it like a medical mystery or whatever you want to call it. And it's literally it's like your body is laying down and you're pulling yourself out, and it's like you're floating. Each time you have an inhalation, it's like yourself, the mind in the tank is just floating each and more out with this magnetic pull, and I'm above my body. I'm above my body, but I'm just gently still attached, and I have become afraid again. It's kind of a letdown story, but it's a very it's exciting to me, and that's when I disclosed at the very beginning. It's very intimate. It's something that's like I keep very true to my heart. I don't talk to many people about it because it's like one of those intimate journeys, it's like it's one of those things. It's like.
And how many years ago did this go down?
This was in 2019 when it started.
Okay,
yeah,
so now are you practiced enough that you can just get it done?
Well, I began another relationship. And at that point, I'm not trying to sound like a downer for relationships at all, but I've kind of got that on a hiatus. Because became involved,
right?
And
right.
So, but it's like it's almost like it's there. It's like when you get on a bicycle and you're trying it first time, you have to be conscious of pedaling. You have to be conscious of holding those handlebars and pedaling. Because if you think about one or the other, or you're going to have an accident potentially. But after so long, you get on the bike and it's just secondhand. You're not even conscious that you're pedaling. You become one with the motion. And so and this is for everyone out there. I mean, I believe every single person has the ability to make this happen. It just takes a little bit of practice and not giving up when you think that you can't do it or you're not doing it right.
Fantastic phone call, Kelly. Thank you for this, man, and
Thank you, Jimmy.
Thank you for sharing.
Go Beckley Tepe. Good night.
Go Beckley Tepe. That's an awesome phone call. It's a perfect phone call. Thank you, Kelly. And I know what everybody is thinking right now. Okay, but we are
wondering if maybe you tried that yet.
No, I haven't. I haven't done it. No, but I mean, you reminded me that we'll see. We'll see if I can get something done this weekend.
You got to be a mad scientist, dude.
I'm with you, man. I'm cool. Yeah,
we're here to have fun,
man. I'm all wired in. I got my Egyptian cotton sheets. And
is it still working for you, man? I mean, like you're waking up energized, you're still feeling good?
It's crazy how good you feel. It's crazy. It's crazy, Pat. It's amazing. You need to do it.
Now, how much does one of those little things cost to get it all hooked up like that?
I don't know. I honestly don't. I really don't. No. I got the hookup. Okay, so
right.
I don't know. It can't be bad. It's you know what I mean? It's not like there's a computer involved or anything. It's cables. You have the stickers, the stickum pads that go on your body, and those plug in. You've got the thing going into the wall. I don't know. Now the mattress pad. I don't know. I don't know about that. But the basic kit, just to wire yourself in for overnight grounding, I don't know. It can't be too bad. You should look into it. You should look into it.
Do they got some kind of like mobile one that you can, just kind of sit at home and maybe sit for an hour and see what it does,
Yeah. It's all like that. And, I have a couple of things. I have a pad, it's about this big, like a floor mat, and that goes underneath my desk here in the bunker. There's that wires into the wall. And then, I've got the other kit that's in my bedroom. But that's just wires. It's not like it's some complicated, crazy thing.
Right.
I just don't know what the cost is. I don't have any idea.
Okay. Yeah, because I read an article the other day, and they were talking about how that's my cat, but talking about how people were a lot grounded. More grounded. Because we didn't wear shoes and everything, and said that a lot of the shoes people wear, it's not letting them be grounded and everything else. And I was like, Then I thought about your little grounding thing. So that's why I was asking, man. I might look into that.
Yeah, you should. And I will, I'll do some crystals this weekend, Pat. All right. Go Beckley Tepe.
All right, man.
Have a good night.
Have a good night, brother.
You too, man. Thank you so much. And that was the elf. Yeah, maybe. I mean, I will look into this a little bit and check into grounding with crystals. That sounds good. I mean, I don't think it can hurt anything, right? Right? Oh, okay. Oops. Let's see here. Let's go here. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. Who's calling?
Yes, sir. My name is DeMarcus.
Uh-huh. What's on your
Yes,
mind?
sir. How are you doing tonight?
What's going? Where are you calling from?
Oh, yes, sir. I'm calling from Baton Rouge, Louisiana.
Okay, what's on your mind?
What's on my mind? Well, they have a lot of these crazy folk around here. You know about juju, right?
What?
You ever heard of juju?
No. What's that? Yeah. All right. Yeah, that's what I figured. Chicken. All right. I'm losing my voice. My voice is fine. I don't sound nasally. Let's go ahead and get these votes in, and we'll wrap the show. I'm just going to wrap early. I have to be up really early tonight and tomorrow. Plus, I've got $18.99 tonight and watching Jessica. Okay, so let's go down the list. We have Wiley opened up the night. We've got Jessica. So Wiley with Out of Body and Sunland. We have Jessica Rodriguez. We have Donna from Kentucky. We had Joe from Philly. We had Frank from Fort Knox, Kelly in North Carolina, and Pat. So where are the votes? So I'm going to look here. Let's see what we've got going on here. Let's see. I need to see the vote because I'm not. Let's see. I'm waiting for the votes to come in. Let's go. Who's what? Okay, so Kelly. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, Kelly 2. Okay, all right. 6, 7, 8. Yeah. Okay. So Kelly. All right, Kelly. Shoot me an email. Send me your address. We'll get one copy of the book off to you. For Kelly, Kelly needs this book. Kelly needs this book. And okay, so now we've got the second book. Caller number 2. I'm tempted. I can't jump in on this. I'm not going to do it. Can't jump in. I can't. Freedom Girl says Donna. And let's see here. Is there any? We've got Kelly out of the way. Okay, so let's go to number 2. Bill. All right. Okay. Donna. 2 Donnas. Okay. All right. Area 51 says, Jess, I'm giving Jessica a book anyway. Okay, so come on, Jessica, Jimmy. Jessica's going to get a book. I've got something special for Jessica. All right. I got something special for Jessica. Jessica and Pat. Missy C. Who was Missy C? Did I miss a phone call tonight? Let's see. Pat. I'm laughing so hard he said Bill. I didn't say Bill. You said Bill. All right. Let's see. Oh, that's from Kelly Robinson. Kelly, that was a good call tonight, my man. That was pretty good. Okay, so right now we've got 2 Jessicas and 2 Donna. Oh, there's another Donna. Another Donna came in. Another Donna. Another Wiley. Okay. All right. Yeah, I liked Wiley's call too. But don't listen to me. Don't listen to me. Let's see. I think it's a tie. So I need somebody to tip it in one direction or the other. And then we'll make this happen. Let's go. Let's go. Oh, man. My pipes, man. My pipes. I was on the phone all day today. All day. Okay. Yeah, I've got to be up very, very, very early tomorrow. And I can already tell that $18.99 is going to mess up my night. Yeah. Okay, so there's another Wiley. All right. Okay. I'm going Wiley. Okay, Carmine. Wiley. Send me your address. You got to send me an email, jimmy@jimmychurchradio.com. I've got your phone number here. Put your phone number in the email. Kelly, put your phone number in the email so I can verify it to you. I'm going to get a lot of email. Okay. A lot of people are going to go, I'm Kelly. Here's my address. So put your phone number in the email. Wiley, you do the same thing. Jimmy@jimmychurchradio.com. You guys are the winners of Jason Quitt's book. And Jessica, send me your address. I've got something else I'm going to send to you. And with that, look, my voice is gone. It's gone. It's gone. It's toast. It's disappearing right in front of you. Happens. Let's see if I can get through the credits. Yeah, it's like that. Fade to Black is produced by Hilton J. Palm, Renee, Dennis, and Kevin. Announcers are Steve Harder, Gene Vitoa, Mark D. Kovar. Webmasters, Drew the Geek. Music, Doug Aldrich. Intro, Spaceboy, spaceboymusic.com. Fade to Black is... I've got no voice. That's right. I'm out of here. It's gone. Everybody have a great weekend. I'll see you on Monday.